Good day, everyone. We are the Group 5 and we are going to share with you the methods of reading art. This painting, okay? So, before mo nakahibaw sa history, before mo nakahibaw sa background story ani nga painting, what are your impressions, Di? What are your thoughts? What are your ideas about this painting? Okay. So, some will say no nga kanang bastos kay ang old man is having a breastfeed to the young woman, no, na ay mga inana nga impression. And that is normal kay wala pa man ta kahibaw sa whole story. So, I will share with you the background story of this painting, okay? So, this old man right here is the father of the young woman, no? And then this old man was being imprisoned to death by starvation just because he stole a loaf of bread, no? So, kaning young woman right here is the only daughter of this old man, no? And she was the only one who visits to her father. Okay? So, the young woman was saddened, naguol ang young woman after she found out that there were no foods to eat and there were no water to drink for her father. That is why she decided to give her father a breastfeed. No? Tagaan lang nga mag-visit ang iyahang anak sa iyaha, tagaan niya og breastfeed, no? So after 4 months of being imprisoned, the authorities were shocked, no? Nahibong sila kung nganong nakasurvive gihapon ang old man bisan walay pagkaon, bisan walay tubig nga mainom, no? That is why they decided nga mag-spy sila ani nga young woman, no? So ilahang nag-spy sila and then nasakpan nila ang young woman nga nag-give o breastfeed to her father, no? So the authorities felt touched, na-touch sila because they felt the love of the woman to her father, no? So at the end, the judge of the court decided to let the old man set free, no? Okay, the judge also felt the love of the young woman for her father, no? So that was the background story of this painting, no? That is why jud nga importante jud nga makahibaw ta sa whole story first before ta mo judge ana nga butang. Okay? So let's go back to our main topic, guys. We have 7 methods of reading art. Okay? So first is we have the formalism and style. Basically gives importance to the formal qualities, example, the art elements, materials, and design principles as basis for the meaning of art. Roger Fry is a major purveyor of this thinking. The form is the content per se and does not take history and context into account. Okay, so when we talk about formalism and style, guys, it is a method in which we can see through our naked eye, no? Walay labot sa kung unsay history ana nga art, wala say labot kung unsay context ana nga art, katurang makita nimo sa imuhang naked eye, no? That is what we call the formalism and style, no? It emphasizes kung unsa ang color, kung unsa ang shape, kung unsa ang texture, kung unsay line gigamit ana nga art. Okay. So just like for example in this painting, what colors can you see on this picture? Okay, so naatay color orange, naay color brown, we have violet, green, and etc. So what are the shapes that you can see on this picture? Yes, we have rectangle, we have triangle, half circle, and etc. So mao to siya ang formalism and style kung unsara ang imuhang makita.
Iconography, as a branch of art history, studies the identification, description, and interpretation of the content of images, such as the subjects depicted, the particular compositions, and details used to do so, and other elements that are distinct from artistic style. Also, iconography refers to the symbols used within a work of art and what they mean or symbolize. For example, in different cultures, a snake may stand for evil, temptation, wisdom, rebirth, or the circle of life. A depiction of a snake in a scene with Adam and Eve has specific meanings for those of the Christian faith or others who understand the snake stands for temptation within the context of that subject or story. And in Chinese culture, however, a snake represents the power of nature and is said to bring good fortune to those who practice the snake's restraint and elegance of movement.
Third is we have the contextual approaches. Becomes an important factor in criticizing artworks here. For example, Marxism is about art in relation to economics. On the other hand, feminism is bent toward the societal context of art wherein genders become a strong factor in the forces behind an artistic creation. So Marxism is a social, political, and economic theory originated by Karl Marx that focuses on the struggle between capitalists and the working class. Marx wrote that the power relationships between capitalists and workers were inherently exploitative and would inevitably create class conflict. Marxists argue that katong mga kapitalist nga wala nagtrabaho who is in the higher class mao na noontoy mas taas og sweldo. On the other hand, katong mga employee which is the lower class nga nagtrabaho mao na noontoy gamay og sweldo, no? So based on the painting here, it shows about economy, no? So one photo here is all about the higher class and the second photo is all about the lower class, no? In the first photo, which is the higher class, you will notice that the people here are having their best life, while in the second photo, you will notice the sadness on their face while they are having their dinner, no? And we all know nga mao gihapon nay nahitabo karon nga generation, no, kung katong mga dato ni samot og kadato ang katong mga pobre ni samot og kapobre, no? So again, the contextual approach answers question, what is the art all about?
Biography and autobiography considers the life and context of the artist. This approach is based on the assumption that the artist's life, beliefs, choices, and personality are directly connected to the works that he or she creates. Art history's biographical method approaches artwork through the artist's life and personality. It assumes a direct connection between the artist's life and their art, taking the notion seriously of authorship. The meaning of a work, its conception and execution is seen as ultimately determined by the artist, with social and economic factors playing a secondary role. The biographical method relies on texts concerning the artist's life and requires that no one know which artist made which work. It can help us understand the artist's life, influences, and how they improved their style. In addition, biographies can give insight into the historical period in which the work was created. So, these help us better understand the art itself. So here's an example. Let's talk about Michelangelo and his works. But first, who exactly is Michelangelo? Michelangelo was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet of the High Renaissance. Born in the Republic of Florence, Michelangelo is one of the art history's earliest true characters. He was a polymath genius who is widely considered to be one of the greatest artists of the Italian Renaissance period, even while acquiring a reputation for being temper-driven, fickle, and difficult. He was part of the revival of classical Greek and Roman art, Yet his unique contributions went beyond mere mimicry of antiquity. His work was infused with a psychological intensity and emotional realism that had never been seen before and often caused quite a bit controversy. Despite his rebelliousness, he managed to find lifelong support by the era's most renowned patrons and produced some of the world's most iconic masterpieces that continue to be revered and even devotionally prayed upon today. The bodies maintain the sculptural quality so reminiscent of his painting, carrying on the mastery of human anatomy, signature to the High Renaissance. Some have noted that the shape of the red cloud resembled the shape of the human brain, as if the artist meant to imply God's intent to infuse Adam with not merely animate life, but also the important gift of consciousness. This was an innovative depiction of the creation of Adam. Contrary to traditional artworks, God is not shown as an aloof and regal, separate and above mortal man. For Michelangelo, it was important to depict that all-powerful giver of life as one distinctly intimate with man, whom he created in his own image. This reflected the humanist ideals of man's essential place in the world and the connection to the divine. God is surrounded by angels and cherubim, all encased within a red cloud, while a feminine figure thought to be Eve or Sophia, a symbol of wisdom, peers out with curious interest from underneath God's arm. As a result, the viewer's eye is drawn to the hands of God and Adam, outlined in the central space, almost touching. So here's one of Michelangelo's work, The Creation of Adam. This legendary painting, part of the vast masterpiece that adorns the Sistine Chapel, shows Adam as a muscular classical nude, reclining on the left as he extends his hand toward God, who fills the right half of the painting. God rushes towards him, his haste conveyed by his white flaring robe and the energetic movements of his body. So with this, we were able to know and understand the meaning behind the painting, and also we were able to know who was the artist. So now we will be looking at art differently after understanding this method. Thank you.
Semiotic from the Greek word sema, which means sign. Hence, an artwork or art form assumed to be composed of a set sign that may have significant cultural and contextual meaning beyond itself. Another way of analyzing the image is through its sign. Semiotic, or the study of symbolic communication, like for example logos or sign that we can see in the picture, interpreting signs. Therefore, semiotic symbols and sign deployed in various fields from business, art, politics, and culture convey a certain message beneficial to the viewers in most cases. Some situations require artists to give interpretation or insight regarding development, danger, or traditional settings. Apply semiotics.
Analysis. Freud is probably a familiar name in the field of psychology, and he is one of the bases of this theory. First of all, who is Sigmund Freud? Sigmund Freud was the founding father of psychoanalysis, a method for treating mental illness and also a theory which explains human behavior. Freud believed that events in our childhood have a great influence on our adult lives, shaping our personality. Psychoanalysis is a method of therapy in which the patient talks about experiences, early childhood, and dreams. First, psychoanalysis refers to both a theory and a type of therapy based on the belief that all people possess unconscious thoughts, feelings, desires, and memories. It began, of course, with Freud. Psychoanalysis refers both to a theory of how the mind works and a treatment modality. In recent years, both have yielded to more research-driven approaches, but psychoanalysis is still thriving field and deals with subjective experience in ways that other therapies sometimes do not.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Rosley Monteros. I'm here to discuss aesthetic and psychoanalysis. Aesthetic and psychoanalysis. Individual nation of what is considered acceptable, beautiful, or attractive in works of art are in part influenced by psychological factors. This approach then connects psychology to one's construct philosophy of art. What is aesthetic? A set of principles concerned with the nature and appreciation of beauty, especially in art. The branch of philosophy that deals with the principles of beauty and artistic taste. So here are some examples of aesthetic. Psychoanalysis, a system of psychological theory and therapy which aims to treat mental disorder by investigating the interaction of conscious and unconscious elements in the mind. This is one of example of psychoanalysis.